Hey everybody, welcome to Forex Trading Analysis. This is Sunday the 13th at 8:30 p.m. And today we're going to be looking at a few pairs, but before we get started, quick risk disclaimer. Foreign exchange trading carries a high level of risk. Before you decide to trade foreign exchange, we encourage you to consider your investment objectives, your risk tolerance, and trading experience. It is possible to lose some or all of your initial investment, so don't invest money you can't afford to lose. Seek advice from an independent financial or tax advisor, and all information provided is for educational purposes only and should not be construed as trading advice or counsel. So, take a quick look at the news first before we get started. Sunday today at 6:45 we had New Zealand core retail sales, which did come out low, so pushed the New Zealand dollar a little bit lower. Video I made last week, I said that I did believe that New Zealand dollar eventually is in for a pretty strong up push, but for now we are in a pretty consistent downtrend, and this news coming out today only helped that. So we gapped down for the euro and the New Zealand dollar and those type pairs, and that's where we are at the beginning of the week. So in terms of news out of other countries this week, we do have Swiss franc news tomorrow at 11 a.m. 11:45. Sorry, nice time to trade there on the East Coast, and also Aussie dollar at 9:30 p.m., which is monetary policy meeting minutes. So a couple pairs that we could see some nice action from tomorrow. I will be looking at the Swiss franc today, as well as a couple other pairs. So pull up the charts here. Swiss franc has been in a pretty consistent uptrend of late. The dollar has been appreciating against the Swiss franc over the past few days. I do believe in a previous video I did say that if we do start to see closing higher above this high here, which is 0.93154, then push to the downside could resume. I do believe that the US dollar is in for a pretty strong push to the upside over the next couple of years, but for now that will be pretty choppy price action, and it'll happen with a lot of different pullbacks. So we have been moving up from lows at around 0.905, and currently we're trading at 0.931. So if we do start to close above, if the bar today does close above 0.93154 or possibly tomorrow, then there should be a mild to moderate push to the upside, and that will be increasingly, well, it will increase the odds of a push to the downside. So if we do start to see highs around 0.9378 and possibly even up here to the highest highs at I'll give you an exact number at 0.95828, then I do believe that we will be a little bit extended to the upside, and a correction to the downside will occur. So, but for now we are above the 200 and 100 day moving averages, and it does look like this pair is in for a nice push to the upside over the next couple weeks. So targets for that, possibly we could see parity, and if not, if we do start to close above this and that's the highest that we can close, we don't see parity, we might start to consolidate and range bound trade a little bit more, even though we have been in a range bound market over the past couple months. So stuff to look at for the Swiss franc. Definitely, it's an interesting pair. I love trading this pair, especially now after the intervention has kind of died down from September of last year. So yeah, it is a pair that I really like to trade, along with the euro, which I'll also take a look at. Next pair that I want to talk about today is the yen, and similar to the Swiss franc, we have been in a mild uptrend of late. Look at the daily charts. We have had that strong push ever since lows back in January, and this pair is a pair that, while I don't believe it's hit a bottom yet, I do believe that we are in a moderate uptrend right now. So I think that since we are above the 200 and 100 day moving averages, and we have started to close above the highest closes here at around 0.79 or 79.958, that the chances that we do start to see an uptrend, continuation of the uptrend anyway, are pretty strong here. It's a chart pattern that is kind of baffling a lot of people right now. This is a kind of tough pair to trade, and it doesn't always make as big moves as other major pairs. But in terms of movements over the next couple days, I do think that we should see up to the close here at around 80.04. So if we do start to see 80, that'll act as a nice little psychological resistance, and we could start to see pushes back down to the downside. But for now, I do like a push to the upside from the yen if we do stay above the 200 and 100-day moving averages. And like I said, if we do start to close below these, I will be looking to possibly enter a sell order for a continuation of the downside, because that's not exactly a low probability bet from this pair, as you can see from a little bit longer term picture. So that's where I am with the US dollar yen right now. Like I said, for the euro, we did gap lower into the open today. It's Sunday, so around 5 we did gap lower. And so one thing that I do like to take a look at with gaps is gaps in relationship to each other. So gap at the beginning of last week was around 58 pips, while the gap this week was only around 20. So that usually means loss of momentum to whichever side that it's going in. And for the euro dollar, that means that the 2 or 3 week downtrend may possibly be running out of steam, and we could start to see a pushback to the upside from the pair. But for now, the RSI is not oversold in the daily or the hourly, so it is a pair that I do think could still move down further, possibly down to lows here at 1.2647. I do believe that the euro is still in a downtrend and dollar strength will resume. And so like I said, I do think that this pair does have much to run to the downside, but for now, it'll be an interesting chart to watch. Definitely, this is one that I don't want to place a trade on right now, but it's going to be a chart that I will be watching over the next couple weeks. So those are a few things that I see today in the markets, and I'll be updating you throughout the week. Follow us at Synergy FX for more updates, and thank you very much for watching.